the Best Stories podcast. Here with Ryan and Declan, as normal, our monthly
hair
show.
All of this, Mike.
What?
Just hair all of us, Mike.
I don't know how we would even get hair.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not like mouth fucking this shit, but it's just fun. I was just looking at it. I was like, damn.
Mouth fucking this shit.
Just
Again, with our monthly video to talk about what's been going on podcast and pop culture. It's just a lot of fucking weird things. Like, what do we have? Fast 10. Is it out? Yeah, it's out right now.
I think so.
Guardians out. Just a lot of random crazy things kind of with pop culture. I wouldn't say a lot of news because the Writers Guild is going on.
When do you... Here's a question with that Fast and Furious thing and with the new Mission Impossible thing. When do you stop? Double digits?
Supposedly.
Never.
Well, James Bond...
Yeah, but it's not counted, and there's different iterations, different characters,
James
different
Bond's
timelines.
one of my favorite...
You would. Your toxic masculinity.
My favorite idea...
You just see women as objects, don't you, Ernie?
Of course.
Of course.
Why not? Come here, little pussy.
Don't say that ever again.
I forgot what they... Oh,
Octopussy?
No, I know, but he calls her when they're doing impressions of him, and I love you, man. He's like, come here, Miss Money Pussy. It's just, that'd be a dumb James Bond name that they would make up. But
Sean Connery.
I forgot what... There is a something pussy, but I can't remember what...
Octopussy.
Is it Octopussy?
Yeah.
Is that a Austin Powers?
No, that's a real James Bond character. It's the name of the movie, bro. It's called Octopussy.
Doesn't sound real.
A lot of it doesn't sound real.
Okay. Well, it's like made in like the 60s, bro. They could...
But what I do like about James Bond is just it's the fact that you could just keep going and going, and every time people used to complain about Spider-Man or
James
something.
Bond, assigned to solve a murder of Agent 009, killed in East Germany, clutching a fake Fabergé egg. A trail leads to India, where a smuggling ring to uncover a traveling circus. However, the real motives proved to be more sinister, and Bond uncovers a plot to blow up a U.S. Air Force base in West Germany. Octopussy.
Octopussy.
Looks like an AI generated poster and
Story.
fake story.
But they could go on and on and on, so that's why I always told people, like, you could just do that with Spider-Man.
Oh, this was Roger Moore.
Problem is they number them, though. You know, nowadays we number everything. That's why it's like Fast X. And now Vin Diesel slipped up, which I think he meant to, on the red carpet in Rome, and said it's a 3-part.
Oh my god.
Because at first it was going to be a 2-parter.
Yeah, because the next Mission Impossible movie is a 2-parter. It's part 1.
Why would you stop if you're making money?
We're going to go bigger. I wonder if he got to play Groot in this one, since Groot was... He didn't. I think that's so dumb.
It said feature.
I think
it says featuring
He
Vin
voices
Diesel.
him. We're talking about in the suit.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the first movie, he wore stilts.
Well, clearly Drax doesn't want to be in the paint. They put him in a shirt the whole fucking movie.
I think they're trying to save money.
I don't remember who does Groot, but I know Sean Gunn does Rocket. And he voiced Little Rocket.
Did he? Mm-hmm. I swear it was someone else. I was like a kid.
It was Sean Gunn.
But before we
get into that,
yeah, with the Writers Guild, I think everything is basically under that. So I don't know if I know Loki's done.
Secret.
Loki's going to somehow. They said.
Didn't they say they were going to make a second season though?
This is the second season.
Okay, so they're coming out the second season and then it's done.
I don't know.
Or do you mean it's done like the second season? It's made.
It's done filming.
Okay.
Because I'm saying it's not affected by the Writers Guild.
Secret Invasion's done.
We already got
Marvel's is done.
Marvel's is done. Which, by the way, what did you think of the trailer? People are very man-hating.
It's very much like I have no idea what's going to go on in that movie.
First
I don't know who the bad guy is, which is starting to annoy me.
Darbin.
Yeah, great, thanks. That totally clears it up for me. Normal. Yeah, but I'm a normie.
But again,
there's not even a scene to be like, this person is the bad guy.
I told you last night. Well, first of all, it's only.
It just looks like them beating up.
Do you need Jason Momoa in the trailer going boom, like how they make the show that he's the villain or whatever?
No, I just need like when you're in a fight scene that's supposed to be like clearly they've snapped, because there's a part of the trailer where they're fighting, where all three of them are fighting the same person, and it's clearly pulled out of like the highest action scene in the whole movie. I don't know who the fuck they're fighting, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's intentional.
In the Guardians trailer, they show clips of the hallway scene, and you don't know who they're fighting. Mm-hmm. To be fair,
In that scene, it's really cool though.
Yeah, but
every time they activate their powers, they switch bodies.
Yeah,
I saw
you.
that.
You don't see it unless you like really pay attention.
I saw that. You have to really catch it.
they stole that from an anime.
Intergalactic used on the trailer. It's just
the song
chef
choice
kiss.
is great.
And I think it also, they said it may be a stab at how guys treat women because they really focused on the "don't you tell me to smile."
That's
You stick around and make it worth your while, like know it's beyond
Yeah,
what
but
you
they
can
made the
tell.
whole
Maybe it's
shit
because
about
it's so
Brie Larson,
versatile
'cause she-
style. But then they cut out all like the offensive stuff. So I'm like, really, come on, guys.
They can't.
Yeah, but then why use the song at all? If the song's got offensive portions that
'Cause
you
it's
can't
got-
include it in the trailer,
it's
why
got
use the song at
'cause
all?
it's
Why
got
not
a
use
dope-
bad reputation?
It's got
the trailer's about the movie, not
It's
the
got
song.
it's got a badass beat, and it's Beastie Boys. No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Dude, did you know they're known to let the beat
Drop.
drop?
I was listening to a live performance the other night, and I always want to know which song originated from it because I feel like I've always went through so many Beastie Boys songs, but I think I found the one that originally they talk the drop. They talk the drop. I think it was for Chuck D, Jeff Jam, or some shit like.
They also add the end of the intergalactic at the end of the trailer. There's a little like intergalactic where
Are they do it? They do that.
do it. Go by the name of the kid rock. Supernatural.
I am very excited, but I just can't understand the hate for Brie Larson.
She needs to smile more.
She smiles a lot too. I always put posts about how hot she is, and people get mad.
How fucking frightening would it be if you woke up in a room that was just somebody that was obsessed with you? That's all I could think in that trailer. It's like, I would be thoroughly uncomfortable because that scene where she wakes up and she's in
that was like
Kamala's
Miss
room.
Marvel, too.
I know, but I'm like,
I watched Miss Marvel again, and I was thinking about, man, this is a really good show.
I mean, they've definitely chose good characters to bounce off each other, right?
I think
Because Captain Marvel is like supposed to be a relatively serious character who's like plays everything relatively straight faced, and then you have
I think
Kamala, who's
Miss Marvel just would work with so many people. Like, it's just her being that giddy little kid and
so what's the difference between her and Moon Girl?
excited about everything.
Miss Marvel and Moon Girl.
Yeah.
Well,
Moon Girl's just smart.
Don't.
Girl's got a cartoon.
Okay, so
That
time
cartoon
out,
is
guys.
amazing,
You got to
by the way.
pretend. You
I
got to
haven't
remember.
watched it.
I don't
I see it
read
on
comic
all the
books all the time, so my grasp on some of this stuff is very tenuous. I especially wouldn't read specifically like smaller Marvel characters. I would know like the greater ones. So I'm like,
Those are the best.
but I'm just saying, it's like if they brought Moon Girl in, would it feel the same, like the same character?
Not at all.
Okay.
What would you? I mean, besides them both being young girls, Moon Girl's like super young.
Yeah, she's like.
She got a dinosaur, right?
I think in the comics she's like 10, but in the cartoon.
But she never has like
Who's the smartest
team ups
Marvel
or
character?
anything like that, right?
Does she?
I think
She got a fucking dinosaur.
Because I
bro.
feel like you have to
comic
do
is-
something.
I
She's a
think her
dinosaur,
comic-
bro.
I think her comic is Moon Girl team up, and she teams up with random Marvel heroes.
Because I feel like as a
Moon
little
Girl
girl, what can you do? You got a dinosaur.
She's like the third smartest person on Earth.
Okay, who's the smartest person on Earth in the Marvel universe?
Is it Franklin still? I feel like it's Franklin. Oh no, Valeria is smarter than Franklin. Franklin has
that's some civil rivalry right there.
Sibling rivalry.
Franklin just has
Civil rivalry.
They're dating.
he's just super powerful.
I've always heard it change. I always
Yeah, but doesn't that make you smart though? If you understand everything, doesn't it make you just inherently smarter than everybody else? If you can manipulate matter on a intelligence is a dumb thing to track because it's like, well, like Reed's pretty smart, but like, could Reed figure magic out? Like the level Doom can?
I don't think so.
That's what I mean. So like, maybe it's just tracking intelligence
Otherwise-
is a dumb stat.
When
I mean, 'cause, like,
Sorcerer Supreme came up as for grabs, Reed would have been
Considered
part
it,
of and he wasn't.
but it was just what was it? Just Doom.
It was Doom, Brother Voodoo, Scarlet Witch, Nico, Jennifer Kell,
Who was chosen?
Brother Voodoo.
Brada Voodoo. Which are we ever gonna get him in a movie?
Yeah, it's so.
Do we see?
I hope so.
See this
I
rating
do
from
too,
Collider from.
Do you think they'd do it?
He could show up in Agatha.
Did you see?
Do you think they'd call him that?
See, are they
that like-
affected by the strike?
So
Because
I think they filmed most
Aubrey
of it.
Plaza just put on Instagram a picture and it says The Darkhold Diaries.
I think
is that their working title or is that what it's going to be called?
So they've done Agnes of Westview. It was on Wiccan's chair. He took a picture of it a few months ago and got in trouble and had to take it down. And then hers says The Darkhold Diaries, which is like written in the same text as the Princess Diaries. Mm-hmm. So they're all copying different movies and shows again. So it might be doing the WandaVision thing again. It's also going to be part musical. We know that because Patti LuPone.
Why is everyone so obsessed with musicals? Because I think it's going to really cringe people. I'm very worried about Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel, the Marvels, because there's going to be that scene where they're on a singing planet and they have to sing to talk. And I feel it's going to be cringe and people are going to talk so much shit about the movie based off that part.
I mean, Brie Larson can sing.
Doesn't matter. I just think it's weird that you have to add singing into it. Like Guardians Christmas did okay because they actually had a band. Then they brought Kevin Bacon, who actually sings.
But also that wasn't a movie.
I don't know what you'd call it. It played a part. I mean, we learned about Mantis and Quill, but so it played its part. But regardless, they did something with music and kind of had that in there, but they did it in the right way. Having your main characters have to talk and sing, it's just dumb.
I mean, there's magic involved, at least,
but I think
this, so
I could kind of get behind it. It's just when everyone got the hype of, like, we're making musical episodes, and, like, Scrubs did it, they kind of made some sense of it because it was someone, like, in a coma or something like that, and she kept hearing everything that way. Buffy did it. I don't know who else.
Every show's done it.
Everybody just started doing it, especially all at once. And it's just, for me, if you don't do it right, it's just very cringe because they're not singers, and it takes you out of the story and out of the plot.
Good thing they both have singers.
Who else is singing?
Are you talking about for the Marvels?
Yeah.
I don't know. But Brie Larson sings.
Who's the chick from Knives Out, the black girl?
Janelle Monáe.
I was gonna say Monet.
Talking about from Glass Onion.
Wilding out lately, showing her titties everywhere.
That's just her music video.
No, she's like, I was watching a live video, like her performing, and she pulls up her shirt.
Oh yeah,
and she's just showing her titties. I mean, I'm not mad.
It's just the era of her album that she's going for.
I just thought this is like
it is very different for
well-known actress now, and people usually are very private, and she's just like, I don't give a fuck, and it's not like it's like, ew, you don't look good. It's like she it
is kind of weird. It's very different from how she usually is. I don't know if it has anything to do with her breaking up with Tessa Thompson, but
she's la gay.
You say la gay?
La gay. Tessa Thompson. I thought she was like messing around with Taika Waititi and them.
She did.
Yeah. Maybe she...
Lucky son of a bitch. Because Rita Ora is...
Because damn, I'd like a piece of Taika... I mean, Rita Ora.
I would like Taika... I mean, he's a really smart man. What is it? Screen Rant's 2022. The Collider 2023...
What are you
April. Reed Richards is their number one. I don't see that. There's no way.
Reed Richards is their...
Colliders.
Oh.
Smartest.
Who's number two?
I was just looking at, like, I don't like this list at all.
The smart people I can think of is Reed.
Hulk.
Tony's at 5. Banner's at 6.
Amadeus.
It loaded back up. 10 is Peter Parker. Peter's really smart, but I don't put him on that level.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, he's created his own web fluid. He has,
but he's not like Doctor Doom or Reed Richards. He's building
Industries.
like he's not building like teleport through reality technology.
Hank McCoy is number 9, but Hank's pretty up there, especially now. Like,
yeah, but who's smarter, him or Professor X? If Professor X can read everybody's mind,
Professor X
just makes him smarter.
I mean, in the sense you would think he'd be able to take over.
Xavier's an idiot.
Yes.
But
and a pervert.
Right now, Beast is a villain.
Yeah.
And he's a super bad guy, which I don't really get.
Is it not Dark Beast?
No. He's turning into Dark Beast, basically.
Is it this Jekyll and Hyde thing?
No. He's just straight turning into a bad guy. And why is he doing what he's doing? You've been reading it more than me.
I feel like he's just trying to protect Krakoa, but doing it the wrong. He always thinks that his way is the right way, and
But it's just so bad because
like,
I'm more.
I read X Force. I don't know what number it is. It came out yesterday, and Quentin Quire takes them all to the future. He's super old now. Like
You told me Kid
like,
Omega comes
yeah.
back like hecka old.
and Beast is transformed into this like super beast. So he's turned into what he
Dreaded.
yeah.
Is he just like playing with?
And Omega Red destroyed the shit out of him.
And it's weird. Mega Red's a fucking good guy. Like,
What is Omega Red? Is he a mutant? Is he a robot?
He's a Russian.
no, because he's like a super soldier, basically, right?
From
Yeah, but is he a
Russia.
cyborg?
From Russia.
No,
Is he a mutant?
he is mutant because
See,
he's
I
on
don't-
Krakoa.
What's his mutant power?
I think he
Quick,
can heal.
look it up.
With Omega Red, I know he needs that device. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, that keeps him alive.
That keeps him alive. But yeah, as far as powers go, I know he's got the tentacles that drain people, but I don't
kinda fun
need these to
X-Force
read.
as a-
I need these to see far away.
I think you should read
superhuman
X-Force.
strength, stamina, durability, agility, reflexes, and ability to secrete pheromones from his body, typically referred to as the death spores. The death spores result into the weakness and death of humans in his immediate vicinity.
What the fuck?
So I'm guessing his.
Does it say he's a mutant on there?
Yeah, he's a mutant
Okay.
with superhuman. So I'm guessing he's got the Wolverine problem, or whatever you want to call it, where they gave him the tentacles during the Weapon X shit.
Yeah,
Russia's
he's
Weapon
very
X.
tied into Wolverine's lore.
Duh.
Well, because Russia was trying to do a Wolverine Captain America or whatever.
When they did the
Russia, are you trying to do a Wolverine?
10 lives.
No.
10
Russia.
Duh.
Duh. Yet.
But Beast is making a bunch of Wolverines.
An army of Wolverines? Are they all clones?
Mhm.
That's really dumb.
Well, something else really bad happened there. So, Krakoa has been battling Orcus. That's been the main villain throughout.
Orcus is the other planet, or no?
Orc.
Or is that
So
like
there's a moon off of Jupiter or Araco
like right by Titan.
that Orcus has taken over. So they're just kind of watching Krakoa. or
What is
Araco.
Orcus?
They're like AIM, but they deal with plants.
Weird. Is Black
So
Tom
there's the
involved?
horticulture.
What is
that are a
AIM
bunch of-
dealing then?
Huh?
What is AIM dealing?
AIM is advanced.
Idea mechanic?
Yeah, but they're like
mechanics.
robots?
No, they used to work for
It's-
MODOK.
Modoc's yellow people.
They have the yellow bee suits.
Yeah. But like,
But they just work on
They're just
technology.
goons.
so these
forms.
guys are just bad guys, but they're specifically plant themed bad guys.
You might have seen the horticulture before. They're a bunch of old ladies. No,
That sounds not intimidating. Whatever that is.
Yeah, I'd beat the shit.
they're
out of a bunch
not.
of
But
old ladies.
they've kicked the X-Men's ass quite a few times.
But they're just like sitting there on the moon like Rita Repulsa, like, yeah.
No,
like, waiting for them to do the next move, like Power
I
Rangers.
believe the person that owns Orcus is his name's like Feilong or something, and he actually owns Stark Industries now.
Crossover. That's
and
what I
he-
don't like. I step out for maybe a month or two, and I feel like
Tony has a secret brother.
everything has gone to shit.
Yeah, Tony doesn't have Stark Industries anymore. Black Panther is no longer king and is not allowed in Wakanda right now.
Why?
I haven't read that yet.
Like, I literally walk across the comics
He got
section.
kicked out of Avengers too, but
That's
Captain
just
Marvel
racist.
invited them back in yesterday.
I literally
Jed
walk
McKay's
past-
#1
Hey.
Avengers comic.
We need a diversity hire.
We need to look good in front of everybody. But I walk across all the comics and I'm like, should I grab something? I'm like, no, I don't really want to jump into a lot of things. But then I look at it, it's so out there. And I will grab #1s to start off or whatever and see if I like it. But it's just so, like, when we're talking about Beast the other day, and I'm like, I heard he's making clones of Wolverine. You're like, yeah. I'm like, this just sounds fucking stupid. I don't see how people would read this and be like, I'm fucking blown away. Because we've already gone through the whole storyline of Sabretooth being cloned up to all hell.
So something else big happened with Wolverine yesterday too.
Oh Lord.
So the X-Men and them, they were at the Treehouse, which is their new base in New York.
Oh, see you at the treehouse, dog.
Is it just in Central Park?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my
Or
mugga.
I don't know. It's in between buildings. There's a huge tree.
Hey, my mugga. I'll see you at the treehouse. Word.
And they run into some tent where Orcus is giving people like medication to help people not be mutants anymore.
Oh, so that thing again.
I can hear Holly Berry already. We're all happy with what we are.
So
And Rogue's like, I can't fucking touch
Some
anyone.
of us kill people.
I can't touch anyone, bitch.
That guy right there is a skeleton
Krakoa.
floating in gel. Okay.
I think he would like
I think he'd like to be a normal boy.
I think he at least wants skin.
That guy's got 17 feet of extra skin.
Do you remember Beak? Yeah. He was just a fucking bird.
He's alive
Maggot?
again.
Is he? Beak came alive?
Maggot's pretty big right now. Well, he's not pretty big. He had a few issues on Marvel Infinity, so he's doing stuff too.
He's making moves, making waves,
But anyways,
making a splash in the industry.
He's doing his thing.
or Krakoa, they've been giving out medicine
to make people mutants.
around the world, like since they came out,
To do what?
to help people. Like all the
in general.
Krakoan plants heal people and have special stuff.
Healing properties.
So MODOK
Special splooge.
was like, hey, let's fuck that up. So they have been tampering with all of Krakoa's medications that they've been sending out. And MODOK has some type of kill switch where
You press a button, you kill
It makes-
97% of its
it
population.
makes people go into like flight, like
Panic attacks?
yeah. And this guy just jumps out a window and splats, and MODOK's like dying of laughter.
That's pretty based.
So they did that, and then
Good.
Good.
this guy was gonna
But
be
like, what kind of diabolical scheme is that?
What kind of diabolical
MODOK's just like
scheme?
going into
I'm
pharmacy.
gonna give people anxiety.
there's so much.
I'm gonna
Going
take
into
away.
pharmacies, like opening up pills, wrong pills.
Are we just gonna let this guy back here? Have you seen him? He's got a giant laser on his head. Are you gonna tell him no?
So
Goodbye, Rite Aid.
I'm trying to shorten it as much as I can. We just got out of Sins of Sinister.
This is why they keep closing all the Rite
There's-
Aids.
there's
These giant
four-
men keep coming in and fucking with the medication.
There's 4 different Sinisters. They all have different suits.
I think of MODOK trying to get out the front door, and he's like, can you guys open up your freight door for me? And then they're like, yeah. And he's like, till we meet again. Back
Do you guys have a
meeting.
bathroom? Yeah, it's down that hallway. Just can't go through the hallway.
Maybe another time. Go ahead, sorry. I just think of MODOK is just such a great character, but he's so fucking
Except
not.
for he's bald now.
He's not realistic. Like, it just doesn't
he's
work.
not.
When is, by the way, when is Ant-Man
It's
coming out on?
It's already
It's
out.
out.
It's on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Is it free right now already?
Yesterday.
Is it free?
Oh
though?
shit, dog.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay. I don't know. They don't do
that
that
anymore.
Yeah, shit. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna watch D&D and
I
Anyways,
know. Ryan was telling us last night to watch D&D to talk about, but I was like,
it was fun. That was better.
that's what I heard about the movie. Is that it's not a perfect film, but it's fun.
I really am over Chris Pine.
I'm not.
Watching that movie.
I'm ready for him.
Watching that movie.
I want to
the
smell his
whole
Chris
time,
Pine
I'm like,
scent.
This is Scott. This is.
Oh,
this
he's
is
a good Scott Summers?
Yeah, this is.
I can see it. But we're not going to get X-Men till we're like 65, so it's fine.
I mean, look how old they casted Iron Man.
True. But anyways, I still want to know what's happening at the treehouse with Wolverine.
So they left the treehouse and then they went to that tent where the guy was gonna like not be a mutant anymore, and then Scott walked in and he's like, "Hey, put that down."
Oh my.
And then the guy giving him the shot was like, "No, we're gonna give it to him." Then the guy's like, "No, get me out of here!" And then
So the guy voluntarily went to go
This-
get shot.
uh-huh.
Scott shows up. He's like, "Don't give that man the shot." And then once Scott says that, the guy's like, "No, I regret getting the shot. Don't give me the shot."
Wait, an
and then-
X-Men recruiter's here. I could be an X-Men?
and then this guy is like,
not
gonna
with your
fight
powers.
them.
Your powers suck.
And then
You can grow.
they
your
kind of got
toenails.
into a scuffle, and then Forge was like, "Hey, that's a robot." And then the robot slashed Firestar on her arm, and she's like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh
and then
fuck! Oh.
Forge is like, "Well, that's a robot. Just go full out. So Firestar goes like full Nova and blows up the tent. And then all the robot pieces fall off, and it's Antimentium skull, or Antimentium body with claws. And then Forge is like, so have we kept track of what we've been doing with Wolverine's dead bodies every time he dies?
Wait, so
every time the X-Men die, they get resurrected into a new body. It's not.
I swear they ruined X-Men so bad. You like it.
It's so good.
But just the idea of they get resurrected and there's a pile of bodies left over behind, that just sounds...
Just throw it in the ditch like with the rest of them.
It's like very Rick and Morty.
They've also have found...
it's Venture Brothers.
Nightcrawlers in Orcus stations too, so... They've been collecting
the dead bodies.
And it's probably mostly Sinister collecting them, because he's up.
See, I would think Sinister's up there on the smart list.
He is. But he's just a geneticist. That's all he does. He's just fascinated with mutants.
So he's not a mutant, though? Not by birth?
I think he is now. I think he's messed with his DNA to where he has mutant DNA now.
Okay.
Because he can be resurrected.
Resurrection!
Because he gotta... Yeah, because he...
But I don't know if it's all the Sinisters or just Nathaniel.
The Sinister Supreme?
Well, so...
Wait, Nathaniel?
Nathaniel Essex.
That's his name. I thought you meant like Richards. I was like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
So our main Sinister has a diamond on his forehead.
Yeah.
Then there's Mother Righteous. She's a female Sinister, but she's like...
Her name is Mother Righteous?
Yeah, she's very...
she's
righteous?
Miss Sinister.
She deals with like magical
She's sexy?
stuff, and people do like her.
Okay.
Fap.
I'll give her a look up later tonight.
Her powers come from people worshiping her. It's very different.
That is a little weird.
And then...
Why are there 4 of them?
Because there always were, and we just didn't know.
I don't like all that bullshit where it's like, this is what's
It's
happening.
always been that way.
Well, just like when we had the episode where Ryan told
The
us
game
all
was
about
rigged from the start.
all the Maura McTaggart shit. And then
That's so good, though. She's such a good villain.
that whole story was like, this all happened behind the scenes that we never knew. And I hate when they do that. I like when seeds are planted.
Yeah, but comic books don't lend themselves to long-term storytelling.
Which
Jonathan
I will
Hickman
give.
takes seeds that were in comics and then lines them up so that
people
his
hate
comic...
Bendis, but I will tell you, Bendis did amazing work with Avengers, from Avengers Disassembled, all the way through everything. Secret Invasion, Civil War, all that, and he had it all planned out. There was no like, oh, this wasn't supposed to happen. Everything was meant to happen for like, it was a 6-year plan, I think he said. So it's like, that's the way I think you tell a story, and there's no, oh wait, there's a flaw in this, and
that's because comic books don't lend themselves to good long-term storytelling because they have different authors.
Well, and also
different...
nowadays, shit like that. I feel like
shit gets canceled.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like back then it wasn't as bad. Nowadays,
Yeah, five issues is about
a lot of
what
shit.
most people
Oh,
say.
it didn't get good in 5 issues? Yeah, we're canceling it. But like, it was just about to get good. No.
It's weird because there were times
The
probably.
longest running comic lately was Captain Marvel by Kelly Thompson. It just ended at issue 50.
But then there's some of them in the Legacy, right, where they have like the little number, then they have the big number next to it, like for Amazing Spider-Man or some shit like that. So I mean, technically, a lot of those have been far. Like
Well, Spider-Man always sells. So,
Superman,
because they always do stuff like kill Kamala Khan.
and it's Spider-Man. So I mean, that's
He's
why
relatable, right?
there was a time where they did like
Not anymore.
4 different.
Never
Spider-Man.
was, I don't think.
I think he was for a time being.
Now he's this like entity that's required for the function of the universe, that there has to be a Spider-Man in every single universe, otherwise the multiverse will collapse upon itself.
It's just they do so many weird
He's
things.
this weird constant in the Marvel universe that they've made so unrelatable because he's now like, he gets the girl.
He goes.
He doesn't get the girl. She's married to Paul.
Oh, I'm sorry. He gets the other 97 hot-ass women that are all lined up to bang
He is
him.
with Felicia, right?
Yeah, like...
Which is...
Who's rich?
I mean, she's a thief.
Yeah, which means she's got to have some money.
But she's also I guess she's
also hot as fuck.
She's bisexual.
Oh, so what? When Ryan, am I supposed to think less of her or something?
Like,
No,
Peter just
but-
hit the jackpot.
Wow,
But
bitch.
she usually has a girlfriend, so it's weird that they have her.
Why is it weird?
Because
Why is it weird that? Sorry, usually I say, why is it weird that two men love each other? Why is it weird that a man and a woman love each other?
it's not that. It's Jed McKay has been writing Black Cat for past like 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and
Don't do that.
Too late. I already did.
I don't even think Peter
What's a
Parker
sable?
shows up. You're talking about Silver Sable?
Yeah, but what is a sable? Is it an animal?
She was a wrestler.
Can you look up sable?
I was like, when is
Has
Silver
he dated
Sable
her in the
wrestle?
past? Silver Sable?
Huh?
Has Peter dated Silver Sable in the past?
I don't think so. I don't think
I mean, they're friends.
But then we're gonna find out later on that it happened when we didn't.
That she actually has
he's-
a baby, and it's Peter Parker's son.
He saved her from dying several times, even though she has wanted to turn him in multiple times.
Isn't she like a CEO or something?
She's like a Russian.
It's an antelope.
I was gonna say like Black Widow, but Black Widow's also.
Russian.
She's like Black Widow,
Doesn't she own like a private military or something like that?
something like that.
Sable for me was a '90s thing to make your cover shiny. They always made her like pop out chrome on the cover,
She's in that chrome like onesie.
and
Did she have a furry collar, or was it only Black Cat?
That's Black Cat.
Okay.
She was always in boring ass storylines.
She has gray
I don't know why. As a
like-
kid, I just thought it was so boring. And she's in an animated
Tassels.
series, right?
Black Widow costume with
Oh.
white hair.
So it's like a jump set.
She's in the animated.
Because I've been watching the animated series, and it gets really weird near the end. Because I'm in the further.
Oh, and Madam Web shows up and stuff.
I haven't got there yet. I've watched that, but this is where it's a lot of the mobsters. Tombstone, Hammerhead. They're all trying to help Silvermane, I believe, where he's trying to get the tablets.
Tombstone's a big character.
Did you see Tombstone's supposed to be in the Black Bunny, Bad Bunny?
El Diablo.
Movie?
Really?
If it still happens, he's supposed to be. There's like they I think it's dumb. They cast an albino black guy, but for me, even though I know Tombstone but Tombstone looks a lot different than an albino black guy.
Because his head is like.
No, but albino black people have red hair and stuff.
I mean, sometimes it's like strawberry blondish.
Okay, motherfucker,
But it's
but it's
usually
not
white.
white and like a square like Tombstone. I think that.
Yeah, but
It's
a fucking comic book universe.
I think
A man can have a square head in a comic book
I
universe.
think if you lose that,
have you heard of MODOK?
I mean, we
I
live
think
with,
if you lose that pale,
It's because it's the Sony Bad Bunny movie. He's just hating on it.
we lived with Kilgrave as non-purple
Bad
skin.
Bunny's fucking
Yeah, but he wore
doing
purple
big things,
suit.
man.
Yeah.
Bad
But now,
Bunny-
if he was brought over to the current Marvel universe, he'd be purple. They would have painted him purple or CGI'd him
don't
purple.
know.
I think they would have. There's no reason not to.
who?
They have blue and green
They
characters.
kind of do whatever they want. Because, like,
If they don't give me giant purple man,
Drax is bright green in the comics, and in the movie,
yeah, but Drax
he's
is also
gray.
like has
Well,
had like
they didn't
hasn't
want-
Drax had multiple designs before they did the movie? Because there's like the original of him where he's in the big
Purple.
he's got the big collars and the thing, and then there's the more modernized version. Then they brought him, and then they kind of aligned the
But
comic
he was
books a little
still
bit more.
super green.
Sure, and red doesn't help his eyes, but
I think they just didn't want to have two green people on the team. I think they even said that it just would have been
too green.
too.
I mean, they went
too
super
goofy looking.
different with Gamora too.
What do you mean?
Like her costume,
Wow.
her facial features are completely
Sword.
different.
Wow.
Well, her
Well,
face.
in the comics, she has these bright, like yellow,
Oh,
like things around her eyes. She doesn't have those little silver
Well, it's
etchings
funny.
in her skin.
It's
well,
funny.
Nebula looks different too, right?
It's funny when you read. Hella different. I was about to say, if you read the Infinity Gauntlet with Gamora and Nebula, which I think I've linked.
but
to
she is
before.
bald, and I remember the.
But then
old
she gets the
Flare
gauntlet
card.
and gives herself
she looks
hair, right?
exactly like Karen Gillan.
Yeah, but then she gets her the gauntlet and gives herself hair.
There is.
Does she?
Yeah.
Was she
If
bald
you
before that?
That was in the What If comic. Or
No, is that the What If comic?
the What If.
She gets
Sure.
the gauntlet.
She gets the gauntlet
In the
And
Infinity
she
War.
heals herself because Thanos is like torturing
She gets the
her.
gauntlet in Infinity
And then she
War.
yeah.
Or in the Infinity Gauntlet.
So the Thanos throne hero clicks sculpt.
Yeah.
The one with her standing there, she has hair on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gives herself her hair back because
I never remember her being bald. That's what I'm saying. I remember her. Oh, you're talking about where she's like
all fucked up because Thanos
Yeah,
is like,
that's-
"Rah, I'm gonna torture you, bitch."
I think.
Can I take a bathroom break?
Yeah, that's fine. Plus, on top of it, I could keep talking to Ryan anyways. I don't think in the comics did they really make it where it's not that one. Oh, you're talking about that card.
Yeah, this was from the 90s, the flare cards. She looks exactly like the movie version.
But she had hair though at one point. That's what I'm saying. I don't
when
remember.
she has the gauntlet, she has hair.
Only when she has the gauntlet.
Because she uses the gauntlet to heal herself back to her original state.
So my thing is, I never really followed Nebula.
Are they actually the daughters of Thanos in the comic books?
No,
They're just like some kids.
I think they're his minions, right?
I'm not sure.
I'll say I didn't really.
I don't
follow,
think Gamora is even one of his daughters.
I didn't
I know
follow-
Nebula's tied to him, but not.
I never really followed a lot of the cosmic growing up. I was more based off Spider-Man, X-Men, anything that had.
When you brought me back in the comics with Ultimate X-Men, that's when I started. Oh no, it was after Ultimate X-Men. It was when I came back during like World War Hulk and that time period. I started collecting Nova. So then
Nova was really interesting.
that's kind of when I got introduced to Gamora, because she was a villain in that series. She was being controlled by the Phalanx.
And Phalanx is just a virus type thing, right? That kind of takes over your body, and
It's Warlock, or what Warlock is.
it's Doug Jones. What's
Doug
his name?
Ramsey.
Doug Ramsey. Doug Jones is the guy that dresses up in all the movies and stuff.
What? Oh, Doug Jones.
Yeah,
Doug Jones.
I was talking about who
Surfer
Warlock is.
in 8, right?
Yeah, because they talk about because he just has basically he has Thane. I mean, as his son, who was because he knocked out some Inhuman lady.
But that wasn't until
Didn't Thane
Infinity.
look like a normal ass dude until the Terrigen missed him?
I mean, Nebula.
who?
Thane looked like a normal ass dude until the Terrigen missed him.
Nebula, they said tries to claim that that's their dad, but it's weird because I didn't really follow like all the space stuff growing up. Like let's say
Warlock.
in the 90s and stuff,
Or Adam
it was
Warlock.
very boring.
Yeah, 'cause
You
there's
had-
already
Jim Starlin stuff.
and you had to really, and it's funny because now it's very praised, but back then it was all about X-Men, Spider-Man, Punisher, Ghost Rider, all those we all thought. I mean, fucking 90s alone, like if they would throw Ghost Rider on the cover, Punisher on the cover, Wolverine on the cover, and Venom on
Well,
the
because
cover.
it's extreme.
All those extreme guys,
was extreme.
all those extreme
Deathlock
guys,
or whatever his name is.
Even when Deathlock came out and there was Death's Head, there.
He's still around.
But again, this is a selling point. If you look at a lot of the comics, like literally the new Fantastic Four cover, when the Fantastic Four died, supposedly, and they came in, Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, the last issue that they're helping, it says, even with a little help with, and it shows Punisher's skull. So people also were like, oh, fuck, I'm picking up 5 of these, like my dad did.
Spawn, bro.
Like my dad did. And guess what happens? The very last issue, Punisher's in a helicopter, or the last page, and he's like, looks like they got it from here.
That's hilarious.
And that's it. But that was how they sold things and stuff
It's like
like
putting an ape on the cover of a DC comic book in the early 40s.
that. Basically.
Because that's like the weirdest trope I found out about was, apparently like apes sold really well, so they put like gorillas on the cover of like Superman or Batman comics. The comics have nothing to do with gorillas.
That's why they
That's interesting.
added Gleek.
Look up ape on comic book cover.
So that's why I was saying that it sucks because there was really good cosmic characters, but we just really didn't.
He's looking at porn, everybody.
Yeah. But we just didn't really.
I like her type better.
I hear that's what we're getting from
Oops.
Fantastic Four is a bunch of the heralds.
I mean, that'd be a good way to go.
And apparently Denzel Washington turned down the voice of.
I don't want Denzel as. I want
The other
Denzel
thing
as
was
another character.
Antonio Banderas.
That's fucking weird, like Puss in Boots.
That movie's amazing.
It's really fucking
I've
good.
watched pieces of it.
I watched it. It was really good.
Damn, you all some marks.
Why?
And
You
It's
I
really
can't-
fucking not. No,
I can't.
I have a
say
niece.
It's way better than it has any
I
right
have
to be.
I have a niece and
Yeah.
nephew, and when they want to be watched, I'm lucky if they don't pick Paw Patrol, The Descendants.
Coco Melon.
No,
I'm joking.
Bluey's fucking hilarious though. They watch Bluey.
I heard Bluey's good.
Bluey's really funny, but so they put on Puss in Boots one time, and
But it's Bluey's written by Australian people. Australian people are hilarious.
I just didn't pay attention really. I did. They put on Peter Pan and Wendy the other day, and I didn't pay attention to the first half, but I watched the second half, and it's not bad. I thought it was gonna be horrible. Do you know what? I don't want to know the spoiler.
Yeah, sure.
Captain Hook is his first Lost Boy, and a lot of it is it's kind of I didn't cry or any shit. It's not Guardians, but it's kind of sentimental that Hook one day just leaves Peter, but he feels betrayed by him, and a lot of other stuff happened. I think I missed it. So Peter has this weight on him about he pushed him away, and he ended up growing up and stuff like that. It's pretty trippy, but yeah, DC did pick gorillas on everything. DC Comics, the most likely noticed disproportionate amount of apes and gorillas on the covers, whether it's Western science fiction, war, superhero series. There's
Maybe
a
Planet of
chance
the Apes was super
featured
popular at
gorilla
the
on
time.
the cover at least once. Well, I think not only that, but I think there was.
How did they get those apes to act?
I think there was a lot. You have to remember King Kong was a.
You're remembering Shang-Chi now, aren't you? That's what he says. That's what he says in Shang-Chi.
yeah.
He's like,
I was like,
and then
what
I
was
turned
it?
to my mom and asked her, how did they get those apes to act so well?
Handsome lad.
Made me think of Nope.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking real quick, because I thought Asian, so I'm racist, and I thought of Nope, so I thought of the actor that they want Stephen Yeun to be Sentry. Are you not into beef right now? Is that why you haven't finished
Wait,
it?
they want him to be Sentry?
We've talked about this on the podcast. I don't know, but he's fucking amazing at beef.
No,
He was amazing as Glenn,
I
too.
love Ali Wong.
Yeah.
So I watched the first 2 episodes when it first dropped,
Do you like it?
and then
Are there?
yeah, I liked it.
You have to.
And then I just
You
stopped.
have to watch beef.
I just like I can't engage in any conversation about characters I like without like
Okay.
the whole
You
like
have to
concept of
watch
being like
Beef.
I don't care. I want
you to watch it so we
It doesn't
can talk
matter.
about it on
I
the
don't want.
podcast.
Okay, cool. But I don't want him to be Sentry.
Oh, okay. I don't really feel it either. I like him, but I don't feel it.
I would like him in the Marvel universe, but
Yes.
it's just I don't know.
He doesn't have the vibe.
And maybe
for
it's
me.
because it's affecting Mike. It feels shitty to read. Like, just give them their own characters.
Like, what do you want, John Cena to play him?
I would absolutely hate it if John Cena played it.
I wouldn't be that mad because I think he'd
No, because I want somebody who can
He'd
be
pl-
put in CGI to be the Sentry. I don't need the Sentry to be a real person. I don't need somebody to bulk up to be the Sentry. I need like
What
a
if
Christian
Seth
Bale.
Rollins is Sentry?
he's
I
been the
don't-
Monday Night Messiah.
You don't need somebody to play Sentry. That you don't need somebody to play Sentry. You need somebody to play Robert Reynolds.
Yeah,
You need somebody to play a coke addict, a paranoid schizophrenic, a agoraphobic, crazy person.
Brad Pitt.
Whoever, but you're not casting for the Sentry. You're casting for Robert Reynolds.
Well, then maybe
Maybe Stephen Yeun.
Stephen
is
Yeun
good.
could play that. Dude,
It's just gonna look weird with really
if you
long,
watch him
if
in
they don't-
Beef.
But if they don't give him the long, blonde, golden hair, it's okay.
Remember
He's
he-
Asian.
But he'll only.
Remember he
have-
doesn't. Remember he doesn't have that though when he's Bob. His hair's short, isn't it? Until he turns into him.
Sure.
He's gonna go Super Saiyan.
Yes.
That'd be so racist.
How's it
It would be
racist?
That because an Asian guy when he gets powered up, he's gonna be like.
I mean, it's racist if it happened a lot of time.
This is what it means to go even for, or they made like constant references to it.
I believe.
bro, you're gonna go Super Saiyan. See, but I don't want the Sentry to be that kind of character. I don't want to be
believe-
Sentry. I want
I
the
believe
Sentry to be
Sentry
like a
would be
sad
like-
fucking person.
Like Adam Warlock, I think is how they would use him.
really
I
dumb.
feel like they would use the void.
I don't know about dumb, but see, that's so many layers in
That
the
is so
Sentry.
many layers.
There's so many layers. You can't just throw them in there and be like, "We're going to use Void. We're going to
They'll
use
take
Bob
up all
Reynolds."
of Doctor
I feel like they
Strange
would
3
just
and-
use him as.
Yeah, but if
Sentry.
they include the Sentry in, he is now the most powerful Marvel character, correct?
I would hope so.
Well, he just would be, right? He's got like
The power of 10,000
more Sentry.
10,000 suns.
and then he just remanifests himself because he does that when Molecule Man erases him from existence.
or the Sentry's gone.
Are you
but the-
arguing that Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Molecule Man? I can understand if they're on the same level, but they're both reality warping.
I think
things.
Molecule Man's more powerful than her.
I think they're gonna write her as Molecule Man in Secret Wars.
Okay.
What do you mean, the movie?
Replace Molecule Man with Wanda.
Like she's the
gonna-
one that's
So Spider-Man's going to come give her a cheeseburger?
That's such a good moment.
It is a good moment. That
He's
comic
just
is
like,
just really good.
I'm like, I've been there, Molecule Man.
Just like, I need
so,
and
and it's an old cheeseburger that's been sitting in his
He doesn't give a shit.
Mm.
It's the fucking best cheeseburger I've ever had.
But yeah, I don't know how to approach Sentry because, to be honest,
They just shouldn't do it.
Sentry needs his own movie, but then
But they just shouldn't do it.
his own movie wouldn't work because people
They
don't know
just
who he
shouldn't
is.
do it. It's just one of those characters that doesn't translate well. Or that if they wanted to translate well, they'd have to rewrite from an entire concept. And as a Sentry fan, I prefer if they didn't do that. I understand if they do, but it's not something you can just directly pull over and then put in the Marvel Universe because there's so much there in terms of what he could potentially
story
do
would
and
have
what
to
he
be-
represents.
His story would have to be told through a couple of movies. You'd have to
Or a
work
TV
through.
show.
I mean,
I'm just saying because they wouldn't do.
But
him,
he's not a main character.
They wouldn't make him by himself.
Yeah, he's not a
they
main
would make him in
character.
a story.
they change characters in the MCU all the time, and it works. Like Mantis, she's not an
Mantis is
alien
a
in the comics. She's a human from Vietnam.
And maybe that's just because I like Sentry, but I guess Sentry and her would be on the same level of relevance of character.
Yeah,
But like,
I
I don't know. If we're gonna do World War Hulk, though, it would be nice to have somebody around that could stop Hulk.
And
Hercules.
Hercules.
Hercules got his ass whooped during World War Hulk. He's in the miniseries with Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho is fucking great. They're
Yeah, but who did they call to come beat Hulk?
no, I'm saying, but if you read people,
Doctor Strange and his hands get bent back.
he's this close to beating him though.
Hulk breaks his wrist in astral form.
I know. Well, I think the worst thing is in the X-Men tie-in, the side comic,
I remember that
when
one.
he goes to confront Professor X and Colossus gets his arms broken in armor form and he can't go back to normal form or they're gonna snap. So he has to let them heal while he's in armor form. So they're bent all back like this or whatever. However Hulk bent him, and he has to leave him like that.
He like
Jug-
tied his arms in like a comic, like a cartoon knot.
Juggernaut's helping them during that, isn't he?
Yeah,
I remember the
Oh,
cover.
he's got to. He's got to.
Everyone.
No
gets
one
their
kills
ass
my
whooped.
brother but me.
He gets to Professor X, but finally
Is Professor X's brother?
step brother.
Step brother.
If you watch the old,
Hey,
what, is that the
It's
that
called the
Pride of the X-Men? Where he's like, "Dear step brother." But that one, when Hulk gets to him, Professor X is like, "Meh." He basically, you find out that Professor X was against sending him to outer space, and Hulk doesn't kill him because that's just fucked up. Boosh!
Breaks his arm. Tears his arms off. Now you can't use your legs or your arms.
Breaks his
idiot.
legs. Now you can't walk. And what?
Why aren't you screaming? Because I can't feel them, idiot.
But yeah, I guess segue to Guardians. It's weird because people.
Great
were-
segue.
Well, because we were talking about people changing things in movies because we don't know how they're going to do Sentry, and James Gunn did a really good job of. He'd be a good person to work on Sentry, I think.
True. He's doing Superman, so
Well, yeah, he's gonna make a good. I think he'll make a good Superman. I just hate it because
Which
I
Superman is
don't. I
he
don't
doing?
dislike DC.
Is he
I
doing
dislike
Kal-El?
DC
Is he doing-
fans.
Well, time out. Is he? Which Superman is he doing?
He's doing-
We've had like 97 rumored different versions of Superman.
He's doing Kent.
Okay, he's doing Clark Kent.
He's doing Kal-El.
he's gonna be younger too.
And I don't mind. I don't mind if they do like.
It's gonna be like
what's his name? What's that fucking?
fucking?
It's something Zod. It's Zod's son or whatever.
Asgard.
They're doing.
Asgard.
I know they're doing Lex, Lois, and Superman.
I don't like the idea. Nick Holt has been rumored as
Yeah, he
Lex.
is.
I don't
Nick
like
Nolte?
that. Nick
Beast.
Holt, the guy that plays Beast.
Oh, that guy. I was
That
like, Kelsey
Grammer?
Grammer?
Kelsey Grammer wouldn't be a bad Lex
Yeah,
Luthor.
it would.
No, I wouldn't be mad about
I
it.
kind of want a young buff
The whole cast
Lex
is gonna
Luthor.
be- yeah.
Why can't I get buff Lex Luthor? That's all he.
People always felt like he was black.
Have you watched Have you watched or read All Star Superman? Where he's like interviewing Lex at Clark Kent's interviewing Lex about Superman in
in
prison.
the All-Star
Well,
comic?
All-Star,
Yeah.
they're all buff like that.
But he's like lifting and in because he's in prison. All he's got to do is work in the gym, but he
Push
makes a
rhymes
comment.
like weight.
But he makes a comment like Clark being like a pathetic shell of a man.
Yeah.
He's like, you're pathetic. I'm like at the peak physical form. Superman's beyond both of us. He's bald. Lex Luthor's a sex trafficker, bro.
I like Smallville.
But
Lex.
in cartoons, I think in Justice League and stuff, don't they? Not Justice League.
He's always a little bit
What is
bigger.
the one they made him kind of look black?
That's Harley Quinn. That's where Giancarlo Esposito plays him.
I thought there was something else they did
It's
besides
in the
that.
old Justice League Unlimited cartoons.
No.
Because there's one where he's white. He's hella
dark
white.
and he has like
The bigger lips.
yeah.
Nope. I disagree. Hard disagree. Because
'Cause
that's not
I-
how he looks like in Unlimited. He looks
Because
plenty white in
I've
Unlimited.
never watched Harley Quinn, and I know
Why not?
That's a shame.
It's great.
I just don't really care about her as a
I don't care about.
I don't
her,
care about her as a character.
but it's great.
Poison Ivy's good.
She
Scarecrow's
she
good.
is likable in the show compared to
Harley
like
Quinn, you gave him cancer. That's my favorite scene. What'd you shoot him with? A cancer, Ray? Harley Quinn, you gave him cancer?
there's a lot of
Oh,
good
God, I gotta go
things.
see my daughter and my wife.
I like Bane kills a lot of the scenes for me too.
Todd.
One of the best though is Scarecrow unmasking Batman
Mm-hmm.
and Joker.
Well, Cockney Scarecrow's hilarious.
Yeah,
And then, like, the Mr. Freeze stuff is fucking creepy and funny. It's a good show. It's a good show.
yeah. So you have to watch that and finish Beef. That's my homework for you.
Let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
But there was a big. I think James Gunn was just arguing with a fan.
Oh, he loves. putting people
They were
down.
mad that they changed Cosmo to a Russian girl instead of a Russian guy,
No, I don't care.
and he said he was just paying tribute to the first dog that got sent. It
was a female.
It was a female. And he's like, "Well, you're fucking up things." He's like, "Wait." He's like, "I made Drax an alien. I made Gamora an alien." He's like, "I made whatever, like a Mantis an alien." He's like, "Why aren't you mad about like these things? You're picking like such a small thing." But it's hard because the Guardians are like.
Is Kraglin even a
Well,
character in the comic books?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's his brother.
By the way, is that paunch he has, is that leftover from him playing Weasel, or is that just him?
that's just him.
Okay, because like Weasel, when he's
I
playing
watch a
Weasel,
show
Weasel's
called
got a
Gilmore
punch.
Girls all the time.
Oh, he used to be on it.
He's
wasn't
one of the main characters on that show,
Oh,
and
he's-
he's just the same character.
He's got a punch. He's a little bit dumb.
he? Does he kind of talk like that still? And you're-
That character.
really, where he's kind of like twangy in a way.
Well,
So thoughts on Guardians? This is where we talk about a movie at the end of our podcast.
it opens on fucking nowhere, right?
It's crazy how much.
Or does
It's crazy.
Or does it open with Rocket?
It starts.
So Ryan's talking about this Lex Luthor real quick.
Yeah,
Like-
that Lex Luthor's not black.
Yeah, I see the vibe. I get the vibe.
Sure, it's fun that you get the vibe.
It passes the vibe check for me. That one does.
Not this one, the one from Justice League Unlimited, where he's clearly
I
white.
can't click these.
I mean, I'm black, and Ernie's the same color as me.
That's because we get no sun.
Sure, so you're gonna judge him by his race, by depending on his physical features, like his lips and all that stuff. Are you saying black people have big lips or something? Racists.
It's a feature.
Yeah, it is. They have wider noses because in
So
Africa,
white people or Asian people can't have big lips.
They can. I mean, they.
Oh,
they
okay.
do
Why
it,
isn't he? Why isn't he
They do it
Asian?
all the time. It's
Why do we
called
care about the
cultural
race?
appropriation?
Why do we care about the race of
Do they
this
do
fictional
it
guy?
like to themselves? You're saying like cosmetic?
You know, like people getting bigger lips or bigger butts.
There's
or-
only one requirement I have for Lex Luthor. I don't give a shit what his race is, but he has to be bald.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He has to be.
You didn't like Michael Cera's Lex Luthor?
One of my favorite things is wigged up Lex Luthor from was that Superman 3?
Is he wigged up?
I read that
because that's who plays him? Fuck.
I can't think of his name.
So-
Jesse
famous-
Eisenberg.
No. I'm talking about the old ones, like the Christopher Reeve Superman. But he's got a wig in that one of those, and it falls off. I think it's like 3.
I'm only thinking of Lionel Luthor right now.
Yeah, that's him.
Anyways, Guardians, more so not setting up the movie, but more of like what's thoughts.
It's good.
It's really good.
I enjoyed the fuck out of it. First fuck in a Marvel movie.
I thought that was weird
Get in the fucking car.
I remember reading that, and they said that it's going to be censored in the trailer or in the movie. It's going to be censored.
It was,
and I was like,
well, it kind of was because the door gets slammed as he says it.
If they censor it with the bleep,
there's a Beastie Boys song they use again in the movie. That when that song gets to a point where it could be considered a little bit edgy, they drone it out with all the shooting. It's like remember the scenes they're going through the hallway and they're fighting all that,
which
things.
Is a great scene. This was James Gunn long-term thinking, I believe. Besides,
this is a Rocket movie, right?
Adam Warlock, but he's been planning to have
the first one's a Guardians movie. The second one is a Star-Lord movie. The third one's a Rocket movie.
He said the first one's about a mother. The second one is about a father. The third one is about yourself. Mm-hmm. So that's what he kind of wanted to tell the story as. This is primo Italiano, like.
I mean, James Gunn kills it with casting.
Planning it from the beginning, because there is a reason why in the first one we see Rocket and get a zoom in on his back, and Star-Lord kind of looks at like, what the fuck? He was setting these up. Like, people talk now, like that scene that I'll show in Crystal, it hits you a lot more harder. It's like, he called me vermin. You think I wanted to? Ryan was talking about that too. Like, you think I wanted to be made like this? Like, now you.
One of my favorite scenes in all those movies is Rocket's conversation with Yondu towards the end of Guardians 2.
Again, a lot of it just great setup.
Dude, that scene to the day makes me tear up.
And
bro.
I talked to.
Come on.
Who was I talking to?
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Talked to my brother Jake, I think, and I was telling him that it's hard for me to decide which one I like the most. I go, 3 I have to watch again, but 3 really
2 has one of my favorite actors in the world in it.
3
Kurt Russell.
3 hit really hard for me. Like, it did really well. 1's just 1, so it does open us to everything, and it's really about the tag.
1 sets the tone for the rest.
It's the tag renegade group that we don't trust each other, know each other. Then number 2 is the whole vibe of everybody really caring about each other, and it just gets you, man. Like, we get Mantis added on, and Drax, their relationship starts to build, and the biggest thing for me is the Rocket developing with Yondu, and then their fight at the end was pretty good. I like that.
Is Rocket Peter's best friend?
Second best friend.
I understand that.
I guess he's probably, out of all those people in the ship, that's probably the person that. I don't know if he confines anything into him. What do you think?
I think the undiscussed Nebula is his best friend.
I agree with that too. I feel like they
spent 5
trauma
years
bond, right?
Together.
Yeah,
they trauma bond over Gamora.
Over everyone.
Well,
everyone got snapped.
But even afterwards, right?
But Nebula
everybody all comes back.
It was just Nebula and Rocket. Everyone else was gone.
No, I meant Peter's best friend, not Rocket's best friend.
Mm.
Oh, so you're saying you feel like Rocket and Nebula?
Yeah.
Well,
I felt you were saying.
Well, she obviously cares a lot about Rocket.
I thought you were talking about Peter and Nebula, and I said I kind of feel that more because what you're saying, the trauma bond.
She definitely has feelings for him.
I think it's so weird to hear her act, because I think I'd make fun of her if I knew her. Yeah,
she's like, very like.
Whatever, Dad. Like how she talks, and this weird.
Come on, George. She's gritting her teeth too.
Karen Gillan is just like so much different. Like,
well, she's also got an accent in real life,
and it's just weird because watching Doctor Who with her, you would never think it's Nebula, but it was really cool to see like the Christmas episode. I felt like played a big part because now you weren't shocked.
Did she have that arm in the Christmas episode?
No, and if she did, she didn't use it.
It's Rocket. Rocket made that, correct? That's what she says. Like Rocket gave her a new arm.
I mean, he could build tech on the fly.
But that thing that she wears that flies around, did Tony make that?
It's possible
because they spent a lot of time together, right? That was my first thought. Was Tony? Because especially the way her arm like works when it creates the repulsor blast. I'm like, oh, that's clear like Wakanda plus Tony, right? Because it's like this weird living metal.
Do you know what I was kind of down about? I'm gonna get back to that because what she did during that scene was. I was expecting the first one we had.
Oh, that scene, by the way, where Warlock comes in.
Oh,
which one?
Ding, 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 But anyways,
Oh, and he's when he's doing his
go crazy, crazy
Black
on
Adam
you.
flying towards the screen.
well, what? Okay, so the first one we got, "Come and Get Your Love."
Dun, 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 dun.
Really cool scene opening up the movie. Then we got Mr. Blue Sky, which is a great fucking opening of number 2. That's another thing that might knock number 2 up for me more, because that whole fight scene where it's just Baby Groot and you see the stuff happening behind him.
I love that song plays at the end of Mario.
Mr. Blue Sky? I can't remember.
When Mario's getting out of bed, it's playing.
Oh, it's like dun 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 dun. dun. It makes me think of a Doctor Who episode.
That's
It's
one of the
just,
best wake up songs.
it's just
When you
like
wake up in the morning, you're like, I got something to go do, and I really don't
it
want to
makes
do
your
it.
life better.
Uh-huh, you're like,
Uh,
it's like all the
this
flowers
one
are
was
singing.
this
and
one.
shit.
I was like, man, I hope we get a cool badass fight scene or something. And it's just, I'm a creep. I'm like,
Dude,
oh my
that was
god.
like right here.
And
And
Rocket's
Rocket's
just
singing. You could see him singing.
And it's just like, oh my god, this is like a different tone of Guardians.
I like how much Rocket is like glommed onto Earth stuff, because he's technically from Earth. Which you find out at the end of the movie that he's in fact a raccoon. Bye recording.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it goes.
Can you press it again, right? Would it start again, or do we just always lose an hour,
Well, always.
or do we always stop at an hour? Yeah, the creep, and is that what
Is I'm a creep. I'm a widow.
Star-Lord is playing, correct?
What the hell am I doing here? What?
Star-Lord is playing it, correct?
No.
Because Star-Lord has it playing, and I thought Rocket goes in there while he's drunk, and he goes, I told you to never touch my...
Rocket's walking around with it just playing off the speaker.
Oh.
That's why nobody else is reacting to it. Only Rocket's saying it. And at the end of the movie, when he plays it, it comes through the big speakers.
Because I thought, then why
I think
is...
other people are dancing to it.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it's playing through the whole town.
I think it is too, but my thing is, Star-Lord, I thought, is mad at him. Is he mad at him for touching it?
Yeah, because he's drunk and angry.
And what bugs me about that scene is he grabs a drink. It looks very refreshing, but it already makes the noise that it sounds like it's empty. It's like, where you hear like the ice on the bottom of it. It really bugged me because it was all filled up.
I like the
Anyways.
drool.
I didn't...
When he turns to Peter, right after Peter, like he grabs a drink, he's going to say him at Peter, and Peter's clearly about to pass out. And he's got that drool like down
I
his
didn't see
chin.
that.
But then Warlock shows up, and almost kills.
I don't... He definitely, James Gunn said he had to shoe in Warlock. And I really felt it. I don't think he was needed. I mean, he was needed for two things. To hurt Rocket and to save Peter, basically. But other than that, he wasn't really needed. A lot of people fucking hated him. A lot of people. They were saying he's the worst part of the movie, this and that. And I feel bad because I
Does
think...
he have a little skull on his chest in the comic books?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I noticed that, and I was like, that seems a little bit out of place for that character. For like,
I thought it was going to be Rocket's head or Lila's head.
That would be fucked. That'd be really fucked.
That would be.
That movie was already fucked. And that movie was really fucked up. When that scene comes along, I was like, damn, okay, I knew this was going to happen. I'm still not prepared for this. Fuck.
They,
High Evolutionary. He kills it.
yeah, he's
He's
like...
so good.
He's like, I want people to hate me. The
They should just
actor
get
said.
him to replace
Is he Kang?
Yeah, just have him replace Kang.
Take off his face.
He's just a variant.
Yeah, he's just a variant of Kang. Because he could do it, especially if Jeremy Irons is really like, it's all still up in the air technically because like
Jeremy
he's
Irons.
not Jeremy Irons, the other.
I was like, Scar?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. Why was I saying Irons?
I don't know.
I think maybe I called him Jonathan Irons the other day. But because he's like technically not convicted of anything yet. So like,
I think they shouldn't trip it.
and like apparently he's found like this is like who's the guy who did Rick and Morty? Joseph Roiland was like found innocent or whatever. But like,
because he was
still
gonna
not back.
he's gonna
so-
quit. If he quits, it's over, right?
What, Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
No, they're already planning on finding a replacement.
I think
voice
they
actors.
replaced his voice actor already.
Well, he voices like 50 characters, so they'll just get new actors to play the character.
They'll get Tara Strong and one other
But
person.
anyways, Warlock fucks
Oh,
up shit.
jeez,
She replaced Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I heard that. But she says one line.
In what?
She's mainframe and the little
floating
robot head. That's with Stallone's team.
Oh, is that alien a sorcerer?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a sorcerer in the comic?
Yeah, I believe
Because isn't like
he
because
has-
that I remember when they showed up in the second movie. That
were
whole
wastes.
team is a real team.
Huh?
Where was Michelle Yeoh?
She got dropped off. She's too famous now.
Basically.
She costs too much money now.
She's in everything.
Well, she was
right
in
now.
Shang-Chi too, right?
Yes.
Sylvester Stallone.
But I mean, so was
He's looking at you, kid. Get up, Gamora. Get up, you bum.
Get up, you bum.
You could have
Adam
gone
Warlock
pro.
just beats ass and then leaves because he gets stabbed in the chest.
Because he's a baby.
Drax is pretty sick in that part too because he just goes. It was nice to see because Drax never gets to go.
Every
too
time I
crazy.
watch Nebula fight, I get uncomfortable
Why?
because people break stuff off of her, and she just
Oh, my
that
god! When she pops and locks and put her jaw and her arm together.
But she does it in the other fight too when they're in the hallway. She has
her,
like head gets
her whole
knocked.
neck gets broken and
she
she's
snaps
holding backwards.
And then they have those little packs that just heal you.
Yeah, those were cool.
It's just fucking weird.
It's like a sci-fi thing. It's just one of those things to buy into when you're watching sci-fi.
Mantis just puts it on her arm. Snap.
It's like when they have like the spray when it
It's
like grows flesh.
It's
back
pretty
or whatever.
cool for them. This was smart, I think. Was let's injure Rocket, but then we find out there's a fucking mechanism inside
There's
of
a
him.
kill switch.
So now we have to have a whole story about finding this.
We have
out.
to have a corporate espionage.
They have to
We
go
gotta
to
fight
Casino
Nathan
Planet.
Fillion.
They go to that weird ass fucking skin planet, which I have no idea what the fuck's going on with that.
I don't know.
It makes no sense to
Nathan
me.
Fillion
I got one
really
of those
wanted to
too.
be in the movie,
Skin
and they were.
planets?
No, an idiot. That's one of my favorite parts. I think
Nathan Fillion's
he's
great,
the-
but I don't get it. Is that their uniform?
He's the boss.
guess
He's the
so.
boss's nephew. Oh, I got one of those too. This guy, love this guy. This guy works hard. This guy.
I like new Gamora too. She's just
you?
like,
She's
what
got really
is wrong with these people?
She's really nappy.
uh-huh.
Her hair is all nappy.
She's a
Because
soldier.
she's a bad girl now.
She's
I mean,
a
she always
soldier.
was, but
And she's just a straight Ravager now. But
She's shooting people and shit.
she's like, we're not supposed to do that. But Mantis,
I'm a Ravager. You're not a Ravager.
Mantis and Drax again. They fucking. I think they're just great together.
you're infatuated with him.
And then he's like, oh, like again, like you could tell it's happened more than once.
You do this every time.
And they did try to save money with him because they really try to cover him up so you didn't have to do all the makeup.
Just
I think that's why, because that's why in the Christmas one I go, they really tried.
Okay. Can I ask a question? What race is Dave Bautista?
I don't know. I think he must
don't
be
think
some
he's
kind of
Hispanic.
Hispanic, right?
No, I think he's Islander. He's
no.
So before I watched the movie, because currently it's Asian Pacific Islander History Month or whatever, there's a big trailer that talked about a bunch of actors that are, and one of them was Dave Bautista, and I was like,
Mr. Blue Sky.
it's like, wait a minute. I'm like, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Ryan's doing it.
It's not like
I'm slow on my part, but it was weird that they did the whole color thing, the color suits. I thought it was
Greek and Filipino.
yeah. I think the color thing. I thought it was supposed to be a little bit like what's it called? Sus.
a Mungus.
Imposter. What?
There's an imposter, a Mungus.
What are we talking about?
When they're in the colored suits.
It's called Among Us.
Among
Oh.
Us.
Among Us.
No,
But it's supposed to be more Pac-Man. They said.
No, it's. I think it's from some type of band.
Regardless, it was kind of funky.
The red one looks like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I
That's
like.
what it's from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was
Because
funny
that's the
seeing,
yeah. Because it's like dead on the suits they wear in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
what's her face?
Second you press that button, by the way. Second
Mantis, while she's floating around, she's never.
she's
the one,
always like-
she's always like upside
she,
down.
at one point she falls and cracks her neck.
She
When they
died
fall down
several
to-
times in the movie.
Does she come back?
Isn't
Is that
that-
her thing?
Isn't-
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
It looked like she died several times.
Isn't that crazy that no one died in this movie?
Well, okay.
That was my most surprise.
I really-
that blew me away.
There was a couple times
They set up. I
I
told
thought
Crystal.
Peter was gonna die.
No.
I
told
was
Crystal
like, really?
They
You're gonna
said-
ruin this movie for me right now because
there-
Peter's gonna die? I was like,
there's a-
thanks.
Oh, when he
There's a
expanded.
Drax scene.
I'm like,
a
thanks.
Drax scene that almost
when he's
like
getting
he's gonna
shot
die.
at.
Star
See, I knew
Lord,
she wanted. I knew
Rocket.
she was into me, bro.
Groot died. He has only a head left.
Groot,
When he got up,
kaiju.
Yeah, Groot's fucking sick.
Mateo.
You don't watch Superstore. It was a show on NBC, and there's a guy. His name is Mateo. On it. He's a funny character. He's like this gay Filipino dude.
Oh, is that the?
And he plays like the side.
Yeah. Okay, so totally recognize that guy from something.
But it's funny because he's just looks so weird. And
don't kill me! Don't kill me.
All we could think of is Mateo the whole time.
Dude,
but
he's like, I'm gonna fall.
You got the worst.
You're gonna kill us. I'm not gonna kill us.
But yeah, like the whole going to the place and then them getting out. I'm like, fuck. I don't know if they're gonna build it. How they can?
Oh
get
yeah,
out
all
of
those
here.
poor fucking people that live on that planet gone.
Then they go to that planet.
Jeep.
That's really weird too.
Jeep.
That shit was just fucking.
Which planet?
Whoever the
Counter
animal,
Earth.
Oh, Counter Earth. Yeah, that's from the comics.
But for me,
Does it blow up in the comics?
No.
Do they?
All those people are
they-
dead.
well,
That
so
bat, that bat family.
The last time
Fucking
in the
dead.
comics they go there, you find out that the High Evolutionary, or whatever his name is, he's the one that made Wanda and Pietro. And the girl that's running around in the circle?
Yeah,
That's their third sibling.
Larville or whatever her name is, Larville. Oh, I thought it was the one from.
No, there's a girl with the white hair, and she's running around.
They all have white hair.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in his.
Do they
little
say her name?
I think she's in the credits.
No, that's
it's-
the little
it's
girl at
their-
the end of the movie. I thought because
That's Phyla Bell.
yeah, because I texted him. I was like, "Who the fuck is that little girl?"
It's Phyla.
I know.
Larville is a daughter of.
By the way,
of,
before you sent me that other text, I figured.
Moondragon is Drax's daughter.
But I'm saying the daughter of Quasar. I thought the original Marvel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, original Marvel is Quasar?
He
I thought he was Captain Marvel. I thought some blonde idiot from Earth during the Infinity Saga becomes Quasar.
You're thinking of Starbrand.
No, but
No.
I know he's talking about Quasar. He's talking about
Quasar's the
blonde
guy
dude with the
who's
two
like ends up
gauntlets.
in. He's the normal human that ends up in the big
I think
council of all the
Quasar. I think
entities,
Quasar
right?
is a title, though. I think other people have become Quasar.
Starbrand's a title.
But in-
Quasar, I think, might be a title.
In the Infinity Gauntlet comic, that's Quasar, right?
Possibly.
Which
'Cause
part?
There's a part where all the
He has like
the
red-
entities are having a council about what they're going to do about Thanos.
Oh,
And some of them are like, we're going to do something. Like, I think
Like
Galactus
he has
is like, I'm
blonde
going to do.
hair, and he has like a
Yeah.
red and blue costume.
But he's just like but in that space, he's just a normal dude. Eventually, he gets the things and he gets the power and all that stuff. But like during that meeting, he's just a normal ass dude. He's like been picked by Eternity to be like Eternity's Silver Surfer, essentially, or whatever.
Possibly.
That's what I remember from that comic. I haven't read it in a hot minute since you let me borrow it.
so
but-
that counter place, I just said they look like freaks. It's weird. Like the designs of those are nuts.
Oh, the turtle. That wasn't scary to you?
Oh, that was messed up.
Fucked up.
So going through all that, all of Rock,
That poor fucking
it was
bunny,
it was
man.
pretty well.
The poor floor,
It was
man.
pretty well
Dude.
timed on the flashbacks. Because a lot of times when they do flashbacks through a whole movie, it's kind of rough to be like, "Oh, you're taking me out of the movie." They actually did a good enough job where it didn't take you away from it. It fit perfectly.
Those tiny raccoons are
But-
adorable.
And the flashbacks were all fucking good, and it was fucking gut wrenching because you knew they weren't gonna make it out.
Absolutely.
And they're all like half robots and cyborgs.
Well, the
and
walrus
stuff.
guy
thought
has
Layla-
like things on his eyes that like will help keep his eyes open.
Teeths.
Like if you look at it closely enough at any of them, it's all
In the
kinds
first
of fun. Like
Guardians-
that bunny's got like no legs. He's got
Layla
like
wasn't too bad.
yeah, but Floor had
Oh.
like spider legs and a thing over its mouth.
I didn't get that. Like, why was he like? Let's throw a thing over her mouth on top of it.
They're all
There's a-
they're
there's
all
a-
actual characters.
There's a real hot chick that's next to Glenn Close in the first Guardians.
The otter. I mean, what?
Everyone always talks about that girl. Like, who's that girl? And she shows up again in the sequel. And this one, she plays Floor. I saw.
Oh.
Because I was like, who voices all these people? And I knew Hawkeye's
Linda.
Carlini or whatever.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's wife
Layla.
voices Lila.
You got me on my knees, Layla. Begging.
But yeah,
Don't you
I
please,
liked we
my
saw a lot of Rocket stealing things. That was pretty cool because it again it ties in with everything from
I
1
just
and
think
2.
you guys are my friends, and it's important to know for you guys to know that I'm thinking.
What's
That
that?
scene got me when Teeths was like,
Oh.
"I was thinking." They're like, "About what?" And he's like, "No, I just think you guys are my friends. It'd be important to let you guys know that I'm thinking.
And it's really sad
like,
when he learns, batch 80.
And the other two get shot, not because they get shot by the High Evolutionary, because they get just crossfired by those people coming in. You're
batch 89, yeah, you guys aren't going there.
Yeah, what the fuck? Are you stupid?
The whole time they're
you
like...
could figure this shit out, but you can figure that
It's almost like a faulty religion. Like,
well, did he have...
We're going to go to a special place. We can't wait. One of these days it's going to be so much better.
Was the High Evolutionary insecure?
Oh, yeah.
Because
I feel like
all I could think about in the movie is in sci-fi there's a concept of the singularity.
I feel like he's reflecting that imperfection.
Well, yeah, in sci-fi there's a concept called the singularity, and it's something that's like could be real. It's like when technology progresses to a certain point where it progresses itself faster than we can progress it. That's what he did. So he hit the singularity. He created something that's smarter than him, that can learn faster than him. So it's like he's now irrelevant.
Oh, he was pissed off about Rocket. Rocket was like the diamond in the rough that came out way better than he expected. And the fact...
How the fuck did you know that?
And how he figured that out, that really fucking pissed him off.
Also, you could tell, like, Rocket's speech patterns were accelerating, like, pretty fast, too. Like, by the end, I'm trying to say he's got the accent and everything already.
Which is weird that he would have the accent. You'd think he'd pick it up from something.
It's like a TV show or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, like,
Wanda's English accent.
Yeah.
Or American accent.
She drops it whenever she wants, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's magic. She can just... magic it. I don't know.
Oh, she walked outside of that force field and she said, "You need to go away."
I know. See, I thought that was gonna be the thing, is when she's in real life, she's gonna have the accent. When she's in WandaVision area, she's gonna be normal or non-accent. But yeah, they didn't follow through with that. But then they end up, after they have to go and they steal the car or whatever, which is funny and all that. But
I left when I was 8. Of course, that's all I could think is when he got the car. I'm like, Peter doesn't know how to drive this.
And I like that Gamora could just see them doing it from the space.
That's a weird camera angle.
But it's weird, like Warhog, I think they called him.
Mm-hmm.
The robot. Her? It's a her.
It was a girl. It's voiced by a girl.
I could barely remember their
forget
voices.
who played her.
Somebody relevant. I saw the name on the credits and I was like, oh.
High Evolutionary in the comics created the anti-humans?
The Enemin.
Enemin?
They talk about it.
Do they?
Yeah, they're like, oh, he patented different species like this and the Sovereign.
I expected to see Bova as well.
I don't like that they created
both of these nuts.
There's this cow person that delivers Wanda, and
I don't like that.
You don't like the weird beak man?
I don't like...
The hog was not so much of an issue. The weird beaked man was fucking creepy.
I don't like he created the Warlock Society. All of them. The Sovereign.
I was fine with that, because, I mean, it's just another...
But to me, they seem like a pretty good species.
I thought they were the Shi'ar.
They aren't perfect, though. Like, in number 2, one of the parts that irritates me is when they land on the Ravager planet with the prostitutes. Aisha's walking on her tippy toes forever, and it's just really stupid. They're like all in their head.
That's what he says, though. He's like, I didn't create you guys to be the perfect race. I created you as an aesthetic.
They're just so much in their head.
High Evolutionary says that. You're an egomaniacal aesthetic. You're something I just created because it looked cool.
I mean, they fight people through video games.
Then how did... Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. How did Adam Warlock become so powerful?
Because he made him specifically to be powerful.
But they took him out early.
Yeah. That's why he acts like a baby. Mother? I was really afraid they're going to give him a mother complex. And
he
I was
also
like,
doesn't have the soul stone.
It's going to be creepy, bro.
Yeah, it's weird they give him a stone, but it's not the soul stone.
It's just a little red. It's like the Sinister Stone. Maybe Sinister will be a creation of the High Evolutionary.
But it's pretty...
Maybe mutants are a creation of the High Evolutionary.
Nah.
It's cool that Star-Lord...
I feel like that'd be a Celestial thing.
He's so wrapped up in like saving Rocket. It's like crazy how much...
This is fucking... It's my best friend.
Second best. Second best. It's like he's in the background like second best.
Drax, if you were dying, you'd be my best friend.
That brought up... Oh, it was Mantis about him not seeing his grandpa.
Yeah.
And it was a total setup. Especially the fact that Gamora goes through the fucking backpack and all that shit. But yeah,
you dropped this when he clearly knows she took it out of his bag.
The Gamora, the Groot scene was sick though when they're with the High Evolution.
And he's like,
he opens up. He goes, now
at one
Groot,
point, Peter Quill sticks his leg in between Groot's his hand between Groot's legs and shoots. I love
when he opens up and all the weapons are in him. I'm like, that was dope.
What is he? He says something.
How did he block the thing from detecting that.
They never detected him.
What?
I remember that because I was like,
scanned
Nebula was
they didn't
pissed.
scan
Oh, they didn't scan it?
because he's
He's
wood.
like, you're a walking weapon. She's like, shit.
Thanks,
This
Dad.
tree guy is not a walking weapon.
Thanks, Dad. I know it was kind of weird, but they didn't.
That was crazy when she was like, yeah, whatever happened to Rocket was way more fucked up than what happened Thanos did to me.
well because it looked like they. I mean, I don't know. I would think honestly it's pretty close to each other.
I would say it's pretty close.
I mean,
When she's
she-
all strung up on that thing, you're like, damn, bro.
when they're ripping her apart. Yeah.
Yeah, fucked up.
But
Did that Nebula die? Why
No.
did Gamora get snapped out? Was she definitely not part of Thanos' forces?
I
She-
guess not.
She got killed, didn't she?
Gamora.
No,
No,
when
no, no, no,
they
no.
Some of the
snapped.
Gamora that comes back from the past. Because
Yeah, 'cause-
she should have went away when they snapped everyone that came from the past to the present. But for some reason, Gamora got to stay.
I like how Peter talked about it too. He's like, then I got upset and I almost wiped out half the universe.
He brings that up.
Yeah. When they're on when he's telling the girl that they have hostage his whole story with Gamora, and he's like, well, I loved her, we were a thing. Then her father came out of nowhere, threw her off a cliff. Then this
Maybe
other
because
version comes
was
back.
against Thanos.
That's what a lot of people say.
We don't know what his wish was when he snapped. So
Yeah, it should have been like me be alive, and
I would have had somebody pre-write something out.
I guess.
what do you?
Yeah, like a lawyer to type it out.
Did you see that James Gunn said he wrote the Infinity Stones in 90 minutes?
I think it's out of context because he's like, I just made some bullshit up. I think.
What do you mean the Infinity Stones? And
But he just
didn't write.
wrote.
He didn't write the whole saga though.
No, but he's saying that he shoehorned it into the first movie,
Yeah, the space gym he put into
and
it
now the whole
now it's a power gym.
MCU is based off of what he wrote
for the power gym.
for all the gyms.
Oh, I don't remember.
I like that there's no discussion of any of them in this movie. They're just gone.
Well, it's over with that.
I mean, they're
I
just
reduced to them to atoms.
They're just paperweights.
And
now.
I did like Star
Are
Lord
they?
constantly.
Yeah, and Loki.
And Loki, remember they find a bunch of them?
It's like Infinity Stones. Oh, yeah,
Well, don't they only work within the respective universe, though?
Right, I think so.
Okay. So it's like, do they still exist in the MCU?
Probably another.
No, in the MCU. Do they go away at the end of the movie?
They crack? Did they crack?
No. Steve Rogers takes them all back to their places.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's right.
So
I don't know what happens because
Yes.
in the present, it's just an infinite loop of
It fucked up the
the
timeline.
Illuminati has them.
like in the comics.
They're back.
The Illuminati's back.
Blackagar Boltagon?
He is back, but he's supposed to be dead. Now that I think about
I
it.
like that Peter was constantly like
Maybe he's a Skrull
frustrated with Gamora not liking him back. Like I like that because he's like very irritable that like like we had good stuff and it's kind of like
You'd be a little annoyed, though, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like,
It's a
come on,
little
bro.
off in some parts of that, but that's pretty accurate.
Nebula, have you been smoking cigarettes again?
Never noticed how black your eyes are. Don't look at me like that.
Your father chose a really good color.
That's-
My
yeah.
father tore him out and replaced him. Well, your father chose a very good color.
Their banter was really good.
Yeah, the banter is always fucking great in Guardians. The random banter, like even from the first one when they're 11% of a plan.
Peter, you're like a frog.
Oh,
on a lily
look
pad.
at it. Tell him just like this.
Easy. See? Then I took a shit. Shaped like a fish. Even my butthole in those metaphors. That's like the silent when he's like, I'm silent.
Yeah, that sucks that we're never gonna see Drax again.
Whatever.
We don't know that.
Yeah, he's done though, but he's just I loved him as a character, but it's always bad when he's like this dumb guy when he's.
We're bummed we're not going to get Nebula again. But
I mean, we could, but I think
Star-Lord will return.
I think Nebula, Karen Gillan wants to be Poison Ivy bad, and I could see Gunn just giving it to her because they have a relationship like that. When do they save Rocket? Because it's after they go get all that information. They have to go get the database.
Nebula, Mantis, and Drax. Drax and Mantis meet up with Nebula. They get on the ship by jumping off and landing on the thing.
Guys, bring the ship back here.
Well-
Oh, we can't. Why not?
We're not at the ship.
When they look over.
They're standing there
But then that scene is hilarious too. When they're trying to get on, you could see Peter fall from the
Falling.
background.
That's hilarious.
But
they
then
were
that's
all
what
gonna
happens
die
because
right
then
there.
they pop the thing. He grabs that dude, falls down, kills the guy by dragging him across the ground, pops his thing out, almost gets crushed by the Bowie. Then they get out, plug the thing. Gamora's
What
there
kind
to
of
help
ship
him.
is this? She couldn't fly it.
What really impressed me was subtle writing that fixes and makes a story work, and the fact that Adam Warlock had to destroy their medic bay, whatever you want to call it, so they had to use their ship medic bay. So it's really cool storytelling, because that means Rocket, wherever they go on the ship, he's stuck with them. Because if you wrote it where he's at, like say a bad writer wrote it and he would have kept him at
Why
nowhere.
can't you just leave the weasel to die?
Who said that?
Gamora does.
Oh, that's right. But then she kind of gets it later on.
Yeah.
But when they go heal him at that point, you're saying?
Yeah, so they get the thing, they pop the thing out of his head. Gamora crashes the ship. They get onto the ship. They put the thing up. They hang it up like an IV.
Peter's crying.
And then Rocket sees his friends.
God, that's such a good scene. It's
They're
sad.
at the gates of heaven.
and
They're
then,
in some.
They're at the endless sky.
and they get to
How many
They get to fly.
different heavens have we had in the MCU so far?
Egypt Heaven.
Soul Gym Heaven? No,
Soul Gem Heaven.
Was it worth it?
everything. That one.
I don't know.
Was it worth it?
Little Gamora annoys me.
It's like Lil Gamora dead,
So,
or is he just seeing that?
there's that. Is there another heaven? Because there's Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. But regardless, that was, especially when she puts her hand up and like, not yet. I was like, that's pretty dope. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to die, but I just like how she's like, not yet.
Wait, what?
Where he's like, I can join you guys. And she's like, yeah. And then he starts walking
very
and she puts her hand on him and it's like, not yet.
Did he want to bang that otter?
Yeah.
What is
in the
Vanessa?
comics, they date.
What does Vanessa say to Deadpool?
Same thing, I think. That's a great, I don't care what anyone says, Deadpool 2 is one of the best superhero
She's
movies.
supposed to be back in number 3 too.
Is she a character in the comics?
She's copycat.
Oh, okay.
Who was Domino first? When Domino first appeared, her first appearance with Domino, it's not really Domino, it's Copycat as Domino. But anyways, so Rocket gets to come back, and then that's when they're like, it's all fucked up because they're like,
Sorry,
they're
you
supposed-
just said Domino. All I could think about is Bullet Train.
ZZ.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best scene when she. Do you have another
Do you have
one?
another one? You think you'd bring another one, or you have another one?
What do you think, you bitch?
But it's funny because everyone's fucked up and not listening to each other. So now it's like, okay, we're good to go. Like, no, they're over here still. We have to go get them now. Then we get No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Which
No
is,
sleep till
and who turns it on? It's Star-Lord, right?
Brooklyn.
And that scene is sick. We get another hallway scene in Marvel where
Oh, yeah, that's when Gamora's like, what are we doing? And they're like walking back to save everybody.
Oh, and the Aboleths show up.
everyone's like lost of what's going on. Like,
On me?
you talking about when they're like, we have to go back and save Drax and
Well, they find so
and
Drax and Nebula find the chitlins, right? The Jeep. And then they
Drax.
fall down a pit. They find some of those things from Guardians 2. Turns out they only eat batteries. So she does.
Drax killed the poor one. in
I'm
number
really
2.
mad that it wasn't Nebula going like this, like with the Raptors.
Should have been Star-Lord.
Not Nebula, Mantis going like this with the Raptors. Because of Chris Pratt. Whoa, Blue.
But
whoa,
it was
Blue.
cool that they brought those, and then
I just think they probably just recycled the already existing CGI they had for it. They were just like, we'll
Might
just
as
throw.
well.
Yeah.
And
whatever.
Rocket-
We'll throw 3 in this time.
Rocket.
They're her pets now, apparently, too. She
It's
takes them at
kind
the
of
end of the
cool
movie.
that Rocket finally sees that he's a raccoon.
I'm a because he calls himself Rocket Raccoon.
That was one of the dopest fucking. I thought it was a cool moment.
I knew when he went up to those baby raccoons, they'd all crawl on him because that's what raccoons do in the real life. So they like hang on the backs and stuff of other raccoons.
But see, what point then does High
were so
Evolutionary die?
cute.
Does he die before that scene?
No, he doesn't.
That's
He doesn't
after
die. They don't kill him
When do
take
they
his
fight,
mask
When do
off.
they fight him?
after
after that scene because he shows up. He's like,
and all the raccoons jump off him.
but then
And
you could see
he's
him at the
fighting
end of the
them,
movie.
and then
And that's when he
everybody
shoots it
comes
when
back.
he's like, "I'm Rocket
Raccoon.
When he's like, And then they leave.
It's a mask.
But that's from Rocket going off on his face, right?
Yeah.
That's why he's all fucked up.
Yeah, he's all fucked up because Rocket went
when he was trying to get away or whatever.
Well, it's really
That was when
funny
he was
too
a
when they
kid.
throw the animals back on. They throw a monkey. The monkey lands on one of the girl's arms and starts scratching the face. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
I think it's the same girl that goes up to Nebula. It's like, Nebula, okay. She's like, get off.
It is.
Like, get the hell off me.
I didn't understand her. Like, was she like a love interest or?
She's just so annoying.
Just the butt of all the jokes.
But yeah, then I loved that Cosmo got a cool part where she's holding it all together,
You're a good dog.
and then she just gets the smashes.
They're cute. I like her and Kraglin.
But
They're
yeah,
playing poker with Howard the dog
that was cool.
and the jewelry guy.
yeah,
Howard got a line.
Yeah, he did.
what did he say?
He said something.
He said something like,
He does
when will
talk.
you drop it? Or something like that when she keeps talking about,
Do you imagine they brought Seth
Gotta be
Green
a
in
fat
there just to
dog.
be like, go again? He's like, when blah blah. It's like, that's it. Thanks, Seth Green. Thanks for
Seth
coming in
Green?
today. Yeah, Seth Green voices Howard the Duck.
From
Chris?
Yeah.
Hmm. I heard Seth MacFarlane left Family Guy.
He quit. They said, but they said he quit because the Writers Guild, and he may come back. They said if they fix everything, but I think it'd be weird because I don't know. They've already recorded a lot of it. They said already this year, so they could end this season. But yeah, that's neither here nor there at the moment.
Hey, Lois, why do I sound so different?
I know it's gonna be really weird.
Hey, hey, Lois.
I think they just would stop it.
Hey, it's me, Brian.
Futurama comes back this week. New episodes on Hulu, apparently.
What?
Futurama.
Oh,
Just random.
so yeah, then it's just
I'm
kind
40% Hulu.
No, and then Star Lord.
we get to see
his Zoom.
we get to see everybody jump off the thing, and then the slugs fucking drop off. It was very Pee Wee Herman to me
Oh, the Aboleths?
when he opens up and lets all the animals run out. When he's saving a burning building, and Jay and Silent Bob copied it in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. But it's like all the animals are just taking off, and then like it's
Isn't
funny.
that 2? When he's in the big, like, hunter's lounge and all the animals come crashing through?
That's Ace Ventura,
Isn't
and
that
that's
what
very
you
similar
said?
to. No, I said Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, you said Pee Wee Herman.
And I
Yeah,
said
I've never seen Pee Wee Herman.
He
He touched his wee-wee at a porn place.
Yeah,
So.
I don't hate him for that, because I mean, what else are you there for? A plot?
When you're, you go home and
Yeah, I
use the
agree.
internet like
I
a
agree.
normal fucking
There was no
person.
internet.
There was the internet.
Oh, then just buy a magazine like a normal fucking person.
Nah, he wanted the good, thick story.
Then why not just buy a video like a normal... You're rich and famous. Somebody can go get that shit for you.
It's probably everyone in there was doing it, high
He
fiving.
could probably wear glasses and like a hat and like kind of sneak in there.
Do the
I guess he
Marvel
could do
thing.
that at a store too.
And
though.
it's so what made Adam Warlock change his point of view? What did he
His
see?
mom died. And then Gamora could have killed him, but he didn't.
And what did he see though? He saw something.
Rocket saved him.
I don't know. I feel like he saw something, and he kind of is like,
He said, "Why?"
Oh, somebody says everybody gets a second chance.
Yeah.
"Oh, that's what Groot said."
Yeah.
What did he say?
I am Groot.
Drax translates for him.
And it's weird. Everyone understands.
I love
Groot
you
now.
guys. Groot talks at the end again.
And then Star
Wait,
Lord
again,
tries to
right?
jump.
Because he's talked before. Groot.
No.
Yeah, is that the first time he's ever
That's
said
the
something
first.
other than I am Groot?
He said we are Groot.
Oh.
One of them.
But yeah, he
the
says I
first
love
one.
you guys.
He jumps Star Lord and he starts freezing. I'm like, how are they gonna?
He
fix
went back
this?
for the Zoom.
Is that why? He wanted him?
Yeah.
That's right. What a shitty way to die. And then they did the whole way.
He tells Rocket that too. He's like, I went back and got this for you.
And I was like, I guess
Peter doesn't strike me as somebody who makes the correct decisions
like
most
I
of the
wasn't
time.
gonna be mad if he died, but then
I actually
like,
thought
I was gonna be mad. I was gonna be like, really? You're gonna do this to me at the end of the fucking movie? You're gonna be like, oh, he's dead now.
I just felt like
Oh.
no one's talked about this spoiler wise. He's probably not going to die, but this is really odd. How's he going to live? And then we had the whole little like Michelangelo.
That was awesome. I really liked that. The finger.
I didn't understand it
Because
I know the painting,
I know, but they're saying
but I don't understand. Like, did Adam Warlock heal him with this finger? Like,
No,
how
it's
did
just a symbolism.
But what did he do though?
How did
He just grabbed him. and pulled
How
him
did
back.
he go from big?
But he's about to
blue-
blow up.
He what? That's not how space works. You don't just blow up in space.
Okay, so what happened then?
He puffed up, but he's not dead. You can live in. You can exist. You're most likely to die in space from suffocation because the second you open your mouth, all the air from your body escapes out your lungs. You can't breathe anymore. So
Have we had people die in space like that to know that?
No. But there's
So how
enough
do we know?
science, bitch.
But science has to
Science,
be
Look it up.
tested to...
Yeah, they
have a
put
theory.
things with air in it
So,
in a zero.
There's an monkey
regardless, Adam saves him. And
Neil
then-
deGrasse Tyson talks about it.
He's
Okay,
not a smart person.
I think you don't think so? I
No.
love him. He's so amazing.
You don't think the guy who's got like an astrophysics degree and like you think he's dumb?
He's pretty dumb.
Why do you think he's dumb?
He's not smart.
Why? What makes you think that?
He's not smart.
But what makes you think that? You could say that, but what makes you think that?
I'd have to research.
So,
So you're just saying it.
you're just being controversial.
No.
I've listened to him quite a bit.
Look
He seems
up
pretty
what
interesting.
happens if you end up in space.
No, because we're going back to the end where it's over, and everyone's got to decide. And I don't know how I feel about everyone just like quitting.
Not everybody quits.
But it's just a weird vibe. And like I said, the Drax line fucking killed me because I've been at a point in my life where I'm like, what am I going to be good at? What do I need to do?
You were
one-
meant to be a destroyer.
And what my
You were meant to be a
stepdad
dad.
one time was like, can't you just be like Logan's dad? And I was like, I guess, but I want to be more. So it kind of made me feel relatable, and it was sad when like good, happy, sad when she's like, you're not meant to be a destroyer, you're meant to be a father, and that's
Or
fun.
dad.
And that's funny too because when he's like,
cheap.
I used to be a.
Uh,
I used to act like a monkey for beep,
Beep,
boop, boop. He's a robot. And then it's sad that he wants to go with and protect what's her face, Mantis, but Mantis wants to roll on her own.
Well, she's got
protection.
she got 3 big puppy dogs.
Yeah.
Some big, ugly, slimy.
And
pink
it's weird
puppy
that
dogs.
now she's like, I want to go, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I get it. The movie has to wrap
You
it
can
all up.
go your own way.
And then Peter's just like, I'm just going to go visit my grandpa. He might be alive. I thought he'd be dead by then, but I don't know.
His grandpa's looking real good for 90. Is that his nurse or his like step?
I've read it. It's his new woman.
Okay.
And so Drax stays with Nebula at Nowhere
Take care of the kids, yeah.
because she says I have to rebuild Nowhere.
Because she's taking care of Nowhere. She's the mayor of Nowhere.
And so I thought Kraglin and stuff were, but are they going to operate out of Nowhere? Because that's where
Yeah, probably.
the Guardians usually take off. And then when they said Rock is leader, I'm like, of course.
I mean, they could fly the head anywhere they want.
Rocket's fought to be the leader all the time, and he always feels like a leader because he comes up with the plans all the time. And then
It's like the Thor thing where Peter pops his
Yeah.
chest out.
yeah, we should
Hey,
go look
Thor,
over here.
Go look over there. Are you dropping your voice?
I always talk like this. And that's what, is that everyone? And Gamora goes back to being a Ravager. It was a fitting end. It just sucks because you want more. Because this is one of the most, for me, flawless trilogy, I think, is even better than Captain America.
I agree with you.
Because Captain America, the third one's good, but it's not Captain America for me. It's Avengers.
I was talking to somebody about that, and they were like, I don't like remember Civil War fondly. I'm like, you don't remember the airport scene, the Black Panther fights, the Tony, like that movie's really good.
It's great.
Civil War's really fun.
It's a great movie, but it doesn't feel like a Captain America movie. It feels like Avengers.
No, I agree with you.
So it's sad to
Well,
see
it feels
it.
like more like a Cap Iron Man movie.
It's sad to see it go, but for me, I gotta watch it again. But it's like 8.5, 9ish.
8.5.
This movie?
Yeah.
No, a 9 for me.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. So, like, they could have given me a better
But
9.5.
it's hard though because that means you're
9.
saying it's close to perfect.
It is close to
movie.
perfect.
Really? I think it's that close. Because it's hard to find any flaws in this.
In terms of like what I want out of a
Casino
comic
Planet.
book movie,
Casino Planet.
it's not a casino; it's a corporate planet.
I know, but it
remember they
remind-
call
it
them
reminded me
corporate
of it.
shills at one point. She's not gonna crack. She's all these people are corporate shills, and I was like, damn.
I
okay.
thought she was going to play a different character.
That actress? Is
That was
she-
the rat girl from Suicide Squad.
Oh, really?
People
So she
thought-
just was a hostage,
People thought she was going to be Moondragon. She was going to be...
and she
some-
was just a hostage.
Does Moondragon have to be bald?
I don't.
I mean,
think so.
Drax is bald.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking. Does Moondragon have to be bald?
I don't think so.
That's part of her character.
Why? Is that how she gives powers, or
She was a monk.
that's almost like does Nebula have to be bald? In the what if she has
No,
hair?
that's different.
She doesn't have hair because Thanos took her
In
head
what if?
apart
But in what
many
if?
times.
In what if she has hair because
she
I
wears
guess-
a wig. And what if?
No,
Is that? Her
I think
hair?
because Thanos is a good guy in that one. Remember, he's a Ravager or a Guardian. No, he's a Ravager.
Remember?
She has blonde hair. She
Yeah,
has
I remember
blonde
that.
hair. And Thanos is like sitting with them at a booth, and he's like, I just think that we should do half blah blah blah, and he's all like a normal dude.
That's genocide. Not from my perspective.
Exactly. Well, anyways,
It's random. That's what he says. Remember, he's like, it's random.
That was our ratings. That is it. We've talked along. I think we lost video. It doesn't matter. Hopefully, people will watch this. If they don't, screw them. Screw them.
I paid.
That's why I felt like I was trying to get a burp underneath.
I paid her.
That's it for me, Ryan, and Declan, and we will talk to you guys next month. And Declan,
What? Is there something I say at the end of these?
Yep.
Oh, all right. That's a podcast.